folks, Ariel over here at Nyth, where today I'm really excited to show you a remodeled kitchen. Now, a few months ago, maybe 6 or 7 months ago, I had done a video just kind of going over a few things in my tiny house that if I was starting completely over from the beginning, I would probably design a little bit differently now, knowing what I know after having, lived in this place for almost 4 full years. And I'd said right at the start of that video that most of these things were not things I had any intention at this point of actually changing because they would be too much work, but just trying to give you guys some ideas if you were currently planning your own on how some things worked in my experience, so that maybe that was helpful for you. And after that, one of the things I had mentioned in there was that my open shelving, which is no longer here, that was on all of my upper shelves, I didn't like that well for a couple reasons. One of the main ones being that now that I have a wood stove, in the winter, when you have a wood stove, probably in any size of house, but especially in a small space, there's always little bits of ash and dust created from that, and it would kind of settle out on all the dishes and pots and stuff up on the shelves, and that was kind of annoying. So that was one of the things I discussed, and out of the blue, one of you subscribers, who is totally awesome, contacted me and said, hey, and again, like I said, this wasn't something I had any intention of changing at this point, but he contacted me and said, hey, I'm a retired cabinet maker and I would love to make you cabinets for those top shelves. My wife and I are coming west this summer and we could bring them to your house and put them in, which was a totally overwhelming offer. That was something I'd never expected. But I can post this now because they're safely back home again, but they showed up, I guess, almost a month ago now, and they were just awesome. They had spent their trip up to the point of arriving at my place, moving these doors and frames and everything around in their RV so they had room to still sleep and eat and all of that stuff. So I think they moved them back and forth and around, I don't know, dozens of times at that point. I'm sure they were glad to get them out of there and leave them here. But here's how that went.
So that's the top.
Okay, here's the last video of my kitchen without cabinets, hopefully, if this all fits properly. Because these awesome folks just brought me new cabinet doors to actually turn my open shelves into cabinets. So we're going to see how this goes. And less than, I don't think it was even 3 full hours later, Gerald had all of these awesome cabinets in, done, finished. He put on these really cool doors that kind of soft close like that. So now I've just got to do some organizing to put everything back together. But there will be no more wood stove dust on dishes in the winter. I'm very excited. So as you can see, he put, it amazes me because there's things I know how to do and this kind of stuff is not one of them. But obviously he'd had a lot of the building done back at his shop at home. And then when he got here, it was just a real simple thing for him to put this all together. And he made them almost exactly match my original lower cupboards. And then I had to paint everything white to match. And this is just a kind of a whitewash. I use it's actually a totally non-toxic paint. Doesn't even have any smell. It's made by a German company, I believe, that I've used for painting before. And that's what I diluted even that with 50% water because I still kind of wanted to see the wood grain in my wood, but I just wanted it to be brighter because especially in a small space and in a place where that's kind of a little bit dark for a lot of the year with our long winters, the brightness is nice. And while I really liked the raw wood, all of my walls and stuff here were raw pine. When I first moved in, they were really, really light. And over time, they just continue to darken and darken. That's what natural wood does. But I was really amazed at how much it darkened. Over here, I'll show you, I moved where my little fire extinguisher is clipped, and that had not been, you know, the clip that holds it had never been moved since the house was originally built and I moved in. And you can see behind it the original color of the wood. And I knew it had darkened, but I was even shocked when I unscrewed that to paint behind it how great the difference was and how much it had darkened. And so over time, it just, the light in here keeps looking kind of more yellow and dim. And so I had, a while ago, I had whitewashed kind of all the lower stuff and kind of got this side of the house done, and then I got busy and I'd simply never finished this side of the house. And so needing to make these, match these, kind of give me a good opportunity to have all that stuff out. And so I finished that side of the house, so now the entire downstairs is all done and nice and bright and white. And I am very happy with it. I really like my kitchen cabinets. It's nice to be able to stuff lots of stuff in there and not have it look cluttery and not have dirt get in there. And then something else that I've been wanting to do for a while, it was kind of unrelated, but I just did it at the same time, was put up one of these hanging pot racks, because I cook so much, and even when I just had all of my pots and pans stacked up here when it was open, you know, when you stack everything up, you always seem to want next the pan that's on the very bottom, especially because you have to put the biggest one on the bottom, and that's the ones I use the most. So that was always kind of annoying. I'd have to lift the whole stack down, unstack it to get the one I want. So I'm really excited about having, you know, a pot rack here where I can simply hang up individual ones and not have to stack and unstack. So that's my newest addition that I just got done yesterday morning, because it's on a little wood track, and the only length the company sold was longer than the space I had to put it, but I read reviews and a lot of other people had done the same thing, and kind of just sawed the ends off and made it fit their space. So that's what I did, and I love it. I'm very excited about that. And I think my whole kitchen looks beautiful and white and bright. And I'm sure some of you guys are going to prefer open cabinets, and of course that's all right. We can all make our little nests the way we like them, but I live here and I am very excited to have my cabinets closed in now, like I said, so I can put more stuff in there without it looking cluttery, and the dust, for the most part, stays off of everything inside. And I know some people like the natural wood better, but when you see how much it really darkens, and that will just continue over time with the raw pine, it gets kind of really yellow color as it darkens. I really like the whitewash, and again, all I did was a single coat of 50% paint, 50% water on the walls and cabinets. And so I am excited with the way it looks. One of the cool things about having a tiny house is that you can remodel it and make it the way you want. So this is kind of my kitchen remodel, and I just want to say thank you to Gerald and George for all the incredible amount of work it took you guys to make this happen. Again, this is something I would not have even known where to start. I mean, I could have maybe screwed sheets of plywood across there, but making cabinetry is not in my skill set. So this is beautiful, and I am so excited. And even though my schedule was pretty insanely busy for the whole time they were here while I was making hay and such, we were able to spend some awesome time hanging out together. We were able to camp beside my house for a few days, and we had some meals, lots of good talks. They brought an awesome bottle of wine. We ate a bunch of elk steak and just generally had a blast. So it was great to meet some of you subscribers in person. And of course you will get to see my remodeled kitchen in all of the future cooking videos and such around here. I hope you guys all have a lovely day and like my new design in the kitchen as much as I do. Thanks for watching, folks. If you're interested in more info on my off-grid tiny house life, check out some of my other videos here. And if you like what you're seeing, click the little picture of my house to subscribe, and then hit the little bell so YouTube actually notifies you every time there's a new video available. See y'all next time.